I've been really into the game Draw Steel lately, so I joined this community game jam. It's actually the second jam I'm participating in, but I got disqualified from the first one. Turns out my swag is too different. This time the theme is 1 year of Draw Steel for the anniversary of the game's release. It's a little more open-ended. Some folks are doing like birthday-themed projects or Zodiac stuff. I want to make something I've been missing in my own campaign, which is a rule set for long-term downtime. Draw Steel has really cool downtime rules with loads of awesome activities that you can choose from, but it's kind of meant to be played like one day at a time. And as my group unfortunately discovered, when you try to chain together dozens of these roles, it takes ages. We spent like 3 whole sessions just getting through a 2-month downtime period in-game. So instead, I want some rules that will let people jump ahead, either months or years at a time, while still making the players feel like they're using that time in ways that are relevant to the campaign. My next move was to browse around and make a little pile of sort of related stuff that inspires me. I, in my browsing, found a bunch of these old book pages that have these really cool interior panel illustrations that I want to steal from. I work pretty exclusively with digital tools these days, but sometimes sketching things out on paper can be really helpful. For this project, I knew I had exactly 2 pages to work with, and I wanted them to have kind of an interesting overall cohesive layout with space given for some cool illustrations in a way that feels intentional instead of just kind of cramming them in. So here I'm just kind of playing around with how I might divide up that space and lay in those illustration spaces. Next, I just take those ideas into my design software and just roughly block things out. I'm really resisting the urge to dive into the things like color and typefaces. For now, I'm just using placeholders because I know that if I don't get the broad strokes figured out first, I'm just going to waste a ton of time. In this case, with the limited page count, getting the design figured out first is really going to help me know how much space I have to write. I think it's kind of backwards. You usually want to write first and then design around that, but I don't know, I guess I'm just a design first kind of person. Once I have my rule set more or less written out and my layout blocked in, I'm ready to start on the illustrations. Starting with some rough sketches, kind of purposefully half-assing them. I want to keep these drawings pretty quick and simple, and generally I find that I do my best work by just making stuff up as I go. I decided to mostly use botanical kind of nature imagery for these to try and evoke the different seasons, but also try to work in some heroes doing their downtime activities near where these illustrations go on the page. So these 2 up here are accruing wealth, and down here this dwarf guy is constructing a stronghold. After this first batch of illustrations are done, I wanted to see how things looked with a little more color and texture on the page backgrounds. So I went to the public domain image archive and grabbed some leafy image assets. And I laid those out on there, messed with their opacity and levels a bit, just so they wouldn't make the text too hard to read. And then I hit them with a gradient map to make the colors a little more warm, a little more green. I think it gives them kind of a watercolor feel, which I'm into. Once I had that worked out, I went on to the second page of illustrations. Same deal, more of these kind of seasonal things. And then once the 4 season illustrations were done for this one down here, there was just a little bit of space left. So I made kind of its own composition around an orrery. Or I guess this is an armillary sphere. I don't know if there's a difference between the 2. And yeah, that's done. You watch the bones of Drekavac the Omen-Blooded blacken and crack in the raging pyre. This time you're certain he's not coming back. We watch the sparks dance on the rising air, floating into the night sky to blend with the summer stars. As the heavens slowly turn, text fades into the center of the screen. As I'm recording this, the game jam is still in the judging phase, so I'll know in a few days whether or not I placed. But honestly, it was just super fun to take part, and so many cool projects come out of this jam. You should absolutely check it out. Thanks for watching. The PDF for this project is up on itch for pay what you want, it can be free. If you use these rules in your game, tell me how it went. I would really love to know. Cheers.